At first, she doesn't believe you're really gone. The moment you walk away, she assumes it's just another emotional reaction, something you'll get over once the initial sting fades. In her mind, this is temporary. She's seen men leave before, but they always circle back, drawn in by nostalgia, loneliness, or the faint hope that this time will be different. So she waits. She expects the late-night texts, the drunk calls, the sudden reappearance with half-hearted apologies. She's used to men who can't let go, who linger in the background like ghosts, haunting their own past. But don't days pass with no word from you, then weeks. The silence isn't just absence, it's a void, where your presence used to be. At first she tells herself, you're just trying to prove a point, that this is all part of some grand gesture to make her miss you. She's convinced herself that if she holds out long enough, you'll crack, because that's how it's always been. Men don't really disappear, not the ones who loved her. They wait. They linger. They leave the door open just in case she changes her mind, except this time, the door isn't just closed. It's locked. She starts noticing the little things, the way her phone stays silent, the way your name doesn't pop up on her social media, the way mutual friends mention you less and less. It's subtle at first, but the weight of it builds. She checks your profiles, half expecting to see some sign that you're still attached, still watching. But there's nothing. No likes, no comments. No lingering traces of you in her digital world. That's when the first flicker of doubt creeps in. Maybe this isn't a game. Maybe you're not bluffing. Maybe you actually meant it when you walked away. The realization unsettles her, but she pushes it down. She's not ready to accept it yet. Instead, she rationalizes you're just hurt, you're trying to save face. You'll come back when you've cooled off. Because in her experience, men always do. But as the days stretch into weeks, and the weeks into months, the comfortable certainty she once had that you'd always be there, always within reach, starts to crumble. And that's when she begins to understand. This isn't a pause. This is the end. The realization doesn't hit her all at once. It seeps in slowly, like water through cracks in a dam. First, it's just a faint, uneasy, nagging sense that something is off. She catches herself glancing at her phone more often, thumb hovering over your contact, waiting for a notification that never comes. The silence feels heavier than she expected. She tells herself you're just being stubborn, that you'll break eventually. After all, you always did before. But then she notices the little absences. The inside jokes that die mid-laugh because no one else gets them. Songs that come on shuffle and suddenly sting because they're tied to memories of you. The way her friends tiptoe around your name in conversation, careful not to stir up what they assume is still a fresh wound. Except the wound isn't fresh anymore. It's just empty. And that's worse. She starts testing the waters, like on an old Instagram post from months ago. A casual text about something trivial, a book she thinks you'd like, a meme that reminded her of you. Harmless, innocent, just checking in. But when you don't respond, when the like goes unreciprocated, the message left unread sinks in deeper. You're not playing the game anymore. There's a shift then. Confidence she had, that unshakable belief that you'd always be there orbiting her world, starts to waver. She replays arguments in her head, wondering if she pushed too hard. She scrolls through old photos, searching for clues she might have missed. Was there a moment when you started pulling away? A sign. She dismissed. The questions gnaw at her because the one thing she never prepared for was this. You walking away and meaning it. And then comes the quiet panic. The nights when she lies awake, wondering if you've already moved on. The mornings when she checks her phone out of habit, only to remember there's nothing from you to find. The creeping fear that maybe, just maybe, she underestimated you. That you weren't like the others, the ones who crawled back, who let her dictate the terms. This time, she's the one left waiting. And the worst part, you're not even waiting with her. The anger comes first, sharp and defensive. She tells herself you're being childish, that this silent treatment is just another manipulative tactic. She vents to friends, rolls her eyes at your dramatic exit, and doubles down on her narrative. You were the problem, not her. She posts carefully curated glimpses of her fabulous life laughing with friends, looking effortlessly beautiful just to prove she's unaffected. But the likes and comments don't fill the quiet. The validation feels hollow because the one person she's performing for isn't watching. Slowly, irritation gives way to unease. She starts noticing inconsistencies in her own logic. If you were truly the clingy, insecure guy she claims, why aren't you begging for her back? If this was all just a power play, why does it feel like she's the one losing? The questions needle at her, but she shoves them aside. She outlasts you. She has to. Because the alternative that you've genuinely moved on threatens something far deeper than her pride. Then comes the first real crack in the facade. Maybe it's a bad day. Maybe it's a song that catches her off guard. But suddenly, she's furious not at you, but at herself. She replays. Every time she dismissed you, every snide remark, every time she took your loyalty for granted, the memories don't align with the villain she's painted you to be. A sickening thought takes root. What if you weren't the insecure one after all? What if she mistook your patience for weakness? The ego is a fragile thing. She's built. Hers on the unshakable belief that she holds the power that no matter how she acts, men like you will always come back. But your silence dismantles that, brick by brick. If maybe, just maybe, the man she thought would never walk away was stronger than she gave him credit for. And that's when the real fear sets in. Not the fear of losing you, but the fear that she already has. That while she was waiting for you to fold, you were already gone. The desperation starts quietly, almost imperceptibly. A late-night scroll through your social media. Searching for any sign of weakness, a sad song shared, a nostalgic photo posted, anything to prove you're still affected. But your feed is a blank slate. No hints, no breadcrumbs, just indifferent updates about your life, moving forward without her. The absence is infuriating. She tells herself she doesn't care, but her fingers keep drifting back to your profile. Compulsively refreshing, as if the next swipe might reveal some hidden vulnerability. Then come the calculated moves. A random run-in at a place you used to go together. A text about something impersonal. Hey, do you remember the name of that restaurant we loved? Dangling the bait of shared history. She watches your response. Like a hawk, analyzing every word, every delay between messages, searching for cracks in your indifference. But you're polite, detached, giving nothing away. The more neutral you are, the more it unnerves her. She expected anger, sadness, even coldness, anything to confirm you still feel something. But your calmness is a void she can't fill, and it drives her mad. The performances escalate. Suddenly, she's everywhere posting thirst traps, vague quotes about moving on. Pictures with new men who look just enough like you to be intentional. She wants you to see, needs you to see. It's all a test, eh? Desperate ploy to yank a reaction from you, to prove she still has leverage. But your silence holds. No jealous comments, no drunk texts, no passive-aggressive subtweets. Just nothing. That's when the panic truly sets in. The realization that none of her usual tactics work anymore. That you're not just ignoring her, you're truly beyond her reach. She starts to wonder who you're with, what you're doing, if you've replaced her. The irony is cruel. The more she tries to reclaim control, the more powerless she feels. Her ego, once unshakable, now splinters under the weight of your apathy. And the hardest truth? You're not even doing this to her. You're just living. While she's stuck in the past, you've already moved on. And that the sheer irrelevance she feels in your world is the deepest cut of all. Time passes. Seasons change. She tells herself she's moved on, new lovers, new hobbies, a carefully constructed life where your absence no longer lingers. But then, on some idle Tuesday, it hits her with startling clarity. You're never coming back. Not in a dramatic, cinematic way, but in the quiet realization that the door between you is permanently closed. She might hear your name in passing, stumble upon an old photo, or catch a whiff of a cologne you used to wear, and for a split second, her breath catches. The memories rush in, not just the fights or the endings, but the soft moments too, the ones she'd long buried. The way you looked at her when she wasn't paying attention, The way you remembered the little things she wonders then if she made a mistake. Not the performative kind she'd admit to friends over wine. The deep, private regret that coils in her stomach at 2 a.m. She replays your last conversations, searching for the exact moment she could have changed things. But it's too late. The version of you that loved her, the one who would have dropped everything for a second, chance no longer exists. And the cruelest part? She's the one who killed him. Now, when she thinks of you, it's not with anger or even longing, but with a dull, persistent ache. Not because she wants you back, but because she finally understands what she lost. Not the attention, not the security, but the rare man who saw her fully flaws and all and chose her anyway. The kind of love she spent years trying to find again, only to realize it was never about finding. It was about recognizing. By the time she did, you were already gone. The lesson settles in her bones. Some losses aren't temporary. Some doors once shut, stay shut. And no amount of knocking, no matter how late or how sincere, will ever make them open again.